Welcome in, everyone, to another session with the Second Chances. As always, we're going to begin with some thank yous, the first of which goes out to Critical Role, whose amazing world, Exandria, we're using, specifically the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, and to Reliquary Records, Critical Role, and Dungeon Glitch. All the music that you hear in tonight's stream will be from one of those three. Now, last we left the Second Chances, they had just left Troston Wall across the Ustalok to go investigate a occurrence that the locals were calling the Fairy Wall, or the Fey Wall. It seemed that several months ago there was a group of Eladrin soldiers, of whom Leander, Hermia's brother, was likely part of, that had went out looking for something or someone that they thought was here. No one sure what fate befell them, but early in the morning, still kind of very, very late at night before the sun had came up, there was a blinding flash. And when someone went to investigate, there was an impenetrable magical wall that was keeping everyone out. When the Second Chances got there, Pela, a halfling mage that was also interested in the wall and had accompanied the Second Chances, touched it, but nothing happened. But when Hermia did, a gap opened for them to walk through. Going further into the forests of Troston Wall, they noticed that there was no sound of wildlife, but there still were signs. As they began to sneak further and further in, they eventually were caught off guard by a group of darklings and a dryad atop a steed made of leaf and twigs. And that's where we are going to go ahead and start. Once I find the right music that apparently I don't have in this playlist because I'm prepared. So, a few of you are going to be familiar with this concept. Pela, this may be new for you, but we're going to do something called Brief Encounters. So we're not actually going to play through the entirety of this combat, but you are going to get to decide exactly how it is you would like to contribute. So, just to give you another idea of exactly what you're looking at here, you had basically walked into this small gully in this forest. Once upon a time, long time ago, it may have originally been a river, but it carved essentially a small gorge through the forest here, and there are two large tree trunks that are sitting over it. There are these small sort of cloaked beings with sharp knives and daggers clad in dark cloaks that are amongst you across the trees and just sort of in the bushes all around you. And then across this gully, you see a dryad atop a large steed that it's made out of the flora and fauna itself here. You get to decide how it is within this battle that you'd like to react, doing one of three things. An offensive action, a strategy action, or a support action. Offense is pretty straightforward. By doing this, if you are successful, you will reduce the number of rounds that battle takes, and in doing so, reduce the possible damage that everyone takes. Support action is things... doesn't have to be such as healing, but, you know, healing using supportive spells or doing something else you can come up with that you think might be a support type action. This will reduce the overall damage by giving a flat sort of defensive measure to everyone. And then a strategy action is calling out some sort of tactic for combat, noticing a weakness that you can exploit, something like that. Doing this will reduce the difficulty for everyone else as they make their rolls. If you decide to spend some sort of finite resource, like a spell slot or an ability that would normally come back on a short or long rest, it could give you a bonus of some type, such as advantage or lowering the DC for you, etc. So everyone sort of take a moment, think over this situation in your head and what it is you might like to do. And we're going to start, since they reduce the DC of all other rolls, with anyone who wants to do a strategy action.
How many enemies are there, roughly?
Besides the Dryad, who seems to be the main one, it's hard to tell exactly how many of these Darklings there are. But just with sort of a quick glance, there seems to be anywhere from 8 to 12 of them. Could be more within the bushes and the shrubs.
Would finding those to call out be considered a strategy action?
It could, yes, if you'd like to try maybe get a bit further out of the sort of midst of the ambush and sort of use your time to call out where everything is coming from, that would absolutely be a strategy action.
I would like to do that.
All right, is there any resources you would like to argue to use in order to make it easier or better for you? You can also just, like, if there isn't a specific spell you want to do, but you want to use a spell slot to do that, I will allow you that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. Besides things like speak with animals or ensnaring strike, that's all I can really think of.
Yeah, so
Like
if you wanted to just use a spell slot and say that you use this to try to sort
Okay.
of get in tune with and commune with the forest, I will let you
Okay.
make this roll with advantage. Go ahead and make a survival check.
Okay. Second. All right, good thing I did that because one of those was a 3. So that is a total of 20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20, that is what you need. That will bring down the rest of the DCs. All right,
It's
so
over there.
from there, we'll go down the line. Leo, what would you like to do? Unless anybody else wanted to do a strategy action specifically.
I was going to do strategy with my bonus action mastermind that gives advantage to somebody attacking. So, like, I would pair up with somebody like Rosalind and point out weaknesses and shit.
Roz is going to be
okay.
doing a support action on her turn.
It still will reduce the DC specifically for you then, Roz, and I'll give like a huge sort of reduction to it depending on what Leo
Nice.
rolls. Leo, go ahead then and make a let's call this a perception check. Just a straight roll though, since a bonus action mastermind. Is mastermind something you can only do a certain amount of times a day?
No, I can do it every turn.
Yeah, so just a straight roll.
So that would be a 19 plus 8.
All right, that is a
27.
success. So that will give Rosalind a big boost. All right, so Rosalind, you want to do a support action? Explain to us how it is that you support people during this fight.
Rosalind starts to concentrate to do a channel divinity, but unlike the one that you've seen her do a few times now, when she opens her eyes, they are glowing a scary color of red, and she's going to use Shadow of War.
All right. Go ahead and make a support roll at advantage for me.
Didn't even get my dice out tonight, Callie. What are you up to? What do I add to that?
Your charisma.
Charisma. So for me, that's charisma is 4, so that will be 13 plus 4, 17.
Okay, 17. What is your constitution modifier?
I think 4.
All right. Maeve already went. Hermia, how would you like to contribute to this fight?
Do I know what darklings are?
I would say yes. I don't know that you've ever necessarily seen them before, but it's definitely something that parents in the Feywild kind of like tell their children about. Like, oh, if you don't go to bed or do your thing, the darklings are going to come get you in the middle of the night.
So
They're very like
what-
goblin type sort of creatures.
so they're like generally evil natured, like
Mischievous,
people?
mischievous, and under the direction of certain entities, yes, they can be very dangerous.
Shoot, I don't know, like if this is gonna count like as like an action or not, but like does the dryad look like it's like controlling?
Not in a way to where like its hands are like up and it's like using spells and
Right.
stuff like that. So beyond that, you're not sure, but it definitely seems like it is like the leader
Literally.
of this sort of group.
Because I was gonna have like Leaf try to talk to it.
It doesn't seem to be in a talking demeanor.
Okay. know if I want to attack yet until they attack.
They've attacked you. Like the Darklings are like
Oh.
on you and attacking you. This
Alright.
is a fight.
So like the battlefield, like are they clumped together? Are they like scattered?
It's going to be sort of an ongoing sort of thing. So just let me know like what you would like to do. There's no like specifics here, and we'll kind of like play it by ear, kind of.
I guess I'd try to do my bonus action that like pushes things back.
The one with your sword?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So go ahead then. We'll call this an offensive action. So go ahead and with that, go ahead and roll with advantage. Add your roll like it's an attack roll. So make an attack roll at advantage.
Do I add my modifier in there?
You do. Yep, and your proficiency bonus to it as well.
Okay. 18 plus 9.
Yeah, that will do it. In fact, that'll actually be reduce it by 2. All right, Leaf, we will have do a support action as well. I don't have his character sheet up, though, so I'm not going to make him do any spell slots or anything. That is a 15 plus a lot, so that is a
15 plus a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Success
15's a good roll, so.
for Leaf as well, and I'll have to check what his constitution is. Pela, you have an idea of what you would like to try and do here between a strategy or, at this point, offensive or support action?
To the surprise of no one, the evocation wizard is dropping a fireball.
Perfect.
Yeah,
All right.
that makes sense.
What level are you dropping that at?
Just normal third.
Okay, go ahead and make a, let's say, Arcana roll with a +3 bonus to the roll.
$21.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That hits my AC. How much damage do I take now?
All right, so make sure you tick off your spell there. And I think lastly we have Zana, who will also do offensive and basically just start firing at people.
So anyways, I started blasting.
That's exactly what she's doing.
Yep.
And she makes it as well.
Doesn't matter which campaign it is, that's what she's doing.
Blast.
All right, so this was a medium difficulty that's going to last for... maximum 8 turns, which is reduced down to 5 turns thanks to... 4 turns thanks to Pela, Zana, and Hermia.
Very nice.
So I need everyone to roll your hit dice once per round. So you're going to roll your hit dice 4 times. And you're going to take that much damage reduced by... Oh, I didn't have any of my D&D Beyond stuff up. So start with that and just have your number ready in your mind.
Roll 4 times?
Yep, your hit dice 4 times.
Ranger's D10, right?
D8 for Ranger, isn't it?
How do I find out?
It should be on your character sheet, whatever your hit die is that you use to heal.
Hold on.
Go up and click short rest.
Leaf actually has a decent constitution.
Oh no.
Oof. 21 damage for me.
Well, hold on. Just have that have that ready. I need to double check.
Oh, right, because we have the healing. I forgot that.
Yeah, my rules here.
Forgot about that part.
So we're actually going to do something similar to when you take a short rest, and you get to reduce each of those rolls by your charisma modifier. So in some of the cases, these might be completely negated.
So who's
Mr.
By
Roz.
my charisma modifier or
By your personal charisma modifier.
okay? Well,
So
mine's 0.
so
Oh.
yeah, that is unfortunate then. So yeah, so then
Okay.
Roz, if yours was 4, that would be 3, 5, 5, 6 instead.
all right.
And then you can further reduce the total damage you take by 7.
12.
So is that everybody can reduce by 7?
Yep, whatever your final amount is after the 4
Okay.
rolls, you reduce it by 7.
So it's personal charisma, except in my case that's 0.
Constitution.
And then
So
oh, you said
Wait.
charisma. That's
Oh,
why
did
I
I?
was
Oh, I'm
charisma.
sorry. Constitution. Constitution.
Okay, I'm confused. Can we like start over? Okay, we rolled the
Yes.
4 times. What
Yep.
do we do?
So it's basically the opposite of taking a short rest, where you roll your hit dice, add your con to heal. This, you're rolling your hit dice, then subtracting your con and taking that much damage. And then whatever your final amount is after those 4 rolls, reduce it by 7. I apologize. We're basically play testing this every time that we do it.
It's okay. Okay.
-1.
14 minus 7, so I took 7. Okay.
Yep. So let me do Zana here as an example. 4 d10s.
Yeah, you kept saying charisma, and I was like,
I'm
why
so
charisma?
sorry.
I was so confused.
5, 5, 7, and 9. And Zana's con
Maybe your
is 3,
support
so
action did
that's
charisma
2,
or something.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. I was
4.
like, all right.
Yeah, that was my
8.
Well, that would have been nicer.
So 7 damage. Zana takes 7 damage total.
Oh, I gotta do luster.
arguably, he didn't contribute anything. So would he take damage?
I will leave that to the GM. Last time he did take damage.
Then yes.
All right.
And what is Leaf's hit dice?
What is your D10?
Is a D8.
Oh, D10.
4,
Oh, that's a nice
1.
low roll.
2, 3. Leaf ends up with 0.
So 7 plus 1.
All right, so as the Dryad and the Darkling jump forth onto your party, it's definitely chaos to start with. Maeve, you managed to fall back through some of the brush, throwing your cloak over yourself and avoiding the eyes of the Darklings, and using your ability to telepathically communicate so as not to draw attention to yourself, you are able to start calling out where all of the soft targets are coming from. Luster as well, following your lead, begins to rotate around the outside of the battlefield, picking off anything that gets out of the way. Leo, you fall back to back with Rosalind, calling out the same targets as well, especially once she uses her ability. Rosalind, would you like to describe what using that channel divinity looks like?
Yeah. So when she does her other one, it's just this big pillar of light that erupts in between whoever the enemy is and whoever she's helping. This one is more like, I don't know, the shadow of death coming over her. Her eyes start glowing red, and you can almost see like a bat wing erupt out of her back for a moment. It's just ethereal, but you can kind of see it. And she looks scary and not nice. Her armor kind of turning necrotic-ish.
All right, so as that happens, all of the Darklings seem to be drawn towards Roz, and at that point, she definitely needs the help kind of spotting which ones are coming after her, Leo. You're able to help swipe away some of them, but Rosalind's definitely taking a lot more hits than what she probably expected herself to do. Zana's in the background, kind of opposite Maeve, popping off shots where she can. Rosalind, at one point, a bullet whizzes by, and you watch as a Darkling falls off of your shoulder onto the ground. Hermia, you notice from the other side that this seems to have affected the Dryad as well. Its eyes kind of turn red. It rears up on its mouth and begins to come across the tree trunks that were laying across this gully, and you have Formia ready just in time as it gets near. Using that knockback, the dark energy blasts it off and down into the chasm. You see a bunch of the Darklings are also pushed off in that direction as well. And as Leaf is throwing out heals here and there as they need, Pela, you see your opportunity and just casually flick a little red orb down in between the fallen trees, down into the gully, and with a massive explosion, fire raining up from underneath, followed by dark smoke. A few more rounds go by as you begin to pick off the rest of the Darklings and look over the edge to see the charred remains of what was once a sentient mount of some kind, and the now smoking, burning husk of a dryad. And
All
with
right.
that, everything seems, at least for the moment, to have quieted back down.
That was quite the creature. Are you familiar with those things, Hermia?
Yep. The little things are like, the little dark guys are like goblin-y thingies that like supposedly like kidnap you if you don't go to sleep on time. And the dryads will destroy you if you are mean to plants.
Well, they certainly were not happy to see us.
Yeah, dryads can really fall on either side of it. Some of them can be mischievous and evil. Some of them can be kinder. But for the most part, yes, if you are evil to nature, they tend to not look kindly on you.
Don't be a dick to plants. Got it.
Yep.
Glances down at the smoking sentient husk.
Oops.
We should probably keep it.
Agreed.
Just sort of nods, starts strolling around or away.
All right, so with that, you continue a bit further on. And as you do, you begin to notice more signs of fighting. Well, not quite fighting yet. Maeve, you would be the first to pick up on it with your tracking. But there are remnants of what were probably footprints, but more than that, you notice the broken branches through the brush. Like something was running fast, or a lot of somethings. Trampled over smaller bits of flora, and off in the distance now, maybe 100, 200 yards, you can barely make it out through the tree cover and the tree lines, is you believe you start to see the rocky outcroppings of a hill forming. Probably some of the early formations of the Ashkeeper Peaks here.
Well, I'll point that out to everyone. Something was running out of here fast. Maybe more than one thing.
Give me 2 perception checks as you begin to make your way in that direction. Leaf will assist someone with advantage.
I will go. I rolled 25. I already had advantage, so if somebody else wants to go ahead with advantage, please do.
I'll go. Let's see, hold on. Okay. Nope, I didn't get better than that. I had a 19.
So a 19 and a... Oops.
It's Anna.
19 and a 25?
That's right.
Okay. Hermia, what's your HP at currently?
It is at 57.
All right. So you continue on as stealthily as you can, making your way towards this rocky outcropping, or these hills that you seem to see rising up through the forest further on. And the closer you get, you eventually come upon a path in what looks to be an open clearing with some logs and a fire pit.
An encampment.
Who is currently in the lead?
Probably me.
All right, so Rosalind's right at the clearing. Maeve perhaps behind her with Luster.
I'm behind Maeve.
Zana will be back in the rear with, we'll say, Leaf. And Leo and Pela, you two are sort of in the middle here. So, you see this former encampment.
Does it look recently used?
From this distance, it's hard to tell.
Go in.
You'd like to go in, Pela?
Yeah, go in, start poking in the fire pit.
All right, so Pela walks
Oh,
by you,
wow.
Maeve and Rosalind.
Pela!
Pela.
It could be an ambush.
Is anyone following her in?
Yes.
Yeah, if she went in there. Yeah.
Begrudgingly.
Begrudgingly.
I'm gonna hold back.
We're investigating.
Nope, that's fine.
We
That's
have
fine.
to find things out.
So, Maeve, you have the best
Yeah.
perception here. So as Pela turns around and says, "We're investigating. We have to find things out." Something catches out of the corner of your eye. So quickly, you don't even have time to react to it. You just see red. And it's tiny, too. Like Luster size before he became bigger. And as soon as Pela gets out of her mouth the investigating, Pela. Let me bring it up here because I did not have this ready. I'm so sorry.
Oh boy.
But get your AC ready. You're going to need it.
Oh no!
Here we go. Let's see.
Oh, that wizard AC.
Oh, it's actually not even that. You get to make a dexterity saving throw.
Add 4 because I went with you.
It's true.
Indeed.
Cool.
At disadvantage, though, please.
Less
Aw.
cool. 6.
Okay. So this little thing comes out of nowhere and just jumps up in the air and drop kicks Pela right in her back. You take 24 bludgeoning damage,
Holy shit.
and you
Ow!
are knocked prone. And I'm going to bring y'all over here to the battle map so we can roll for initiative.
Well, I don't like this. What's happening here? All right. Here we go.
Oh, actually, some of my monsters aren't on here for some reason, so let's edit and fix that.
I think Luster's still on acid. Does that sound right, everybody?
If
Okay.
you didn't change
I
it,
th-
correct.
I think that's what it was last time, yeah.
Yeah, I need to change that at some point. So did I make acid? I think green. Right, because poison will be purple.
Yep. So remember, go ahead and select your token to roll, or if you're going to roll in person, just go ahead and put it in the chat there, and I will get it in here when I can.
19. Hey, I didn't suck this time. No, Luster's not on acid.
I mean, you did phrase it that way.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought that.
Sorry.
Oh, I get
Acid.
it. On acid. Har, har,
Acid.
har, har, har,
Haha,
har.
yeah.
All right, Maeve is up there. Rosalind
I
is up there.
did process that as you said it.
I need to
But I
change
got
it to
through
be.
it.
I need to change it to be on fire.
Pela, what
Yeah?
is your casting focus as a wizard? Do you use a components pouch, or do you use
I've
like an
got
arcane focus?
I've got a crystal.
Okay.
Yeah, focus.
So as you were kicked, you drop your crystal as well.
Rude.
It's right near you, so on your turn, you can go ahead and pick it up.
No, someone steals it.
Let's see. Zana needs to roll at advantage. Oh, Zana, why? Not like this.
Always like this.
Oh, she has a +8, so she's still at a 16, thankfully.
Oh my gosh.
I think
+8.
level 7 lets her add her proficiency bonus to her initiative now. Yeah, that's what it is.
Holy shit. That's nice.
Leaf gets
Gunslinger's the only
advantage.
class in the game that gets that.
I was gonna say Rogue doesn't even get
Nope,
that. It's
just Gunslinger.
bullshit.
The only one that gets it is a still technically homebrew.
There may be a feat that lets you do it as well.
I don't think so.
Alert?
I thought there was a feat. Yeah.
Does alert let you add
Maybe.
your proficiency to it?
I think there is a feat that lets you add something to initiative because it's like the only way to
I
do
know
so.
one of the
I thought
wizard
so, at least.
subclasses lets you add your int modifier as well, because
Oh,
Brux has that in Whispers.
Oh, that's
I'm dropping
interesting.
shit.
Dropping shit everywhere. That's interesting. I thought there was a rogue subclass that did. Assassin should because of their special ability.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
Yeah,
don't.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's something else that does.
yeah, but there's not many. It's not like 3.0 or 4.0.
So now that you've all had a chance to look at what it was that did this, you turn around and see this tiny little, almost feral-looking gnome that just has like this tarnished sort of red cap on and this long, like as long as his body is, bladed like sickle, and this thing seems to just be like twitching and foaming at the mouth.
Oh, why?
Get that away from me!
Was he
Hermia,
got rabies?
Hermia, you do know what this thing is. You've never seen one, but you've
What
heard
is it?
about them. It is called a red cap, and they are one of the most bloodthirsty, murderous beings in the Feywild.
Isn't it a poisonous mushroom too?
It may also be that, yeah. Oh, son
And
of a-
maybe red cat does sound like a mushroom.
Hey.
Good news is I did not roll well for him.
That's a red cap.
uh,
They're not nice.
okay.
Agreed.
Watch out for. Do they come in packs?
I'll say that yes, you know that they usually travel in packs.
Oh, great. They usually have friends.
Okay, watch out for the friends. These are important questions for a hunter to ask.
God damn it. And they are all down at the bottom. So, with that, Leo, you are up. You currently only see the one that just ran out and drop-kicked Pela.
Okay.
Did you switch over on the stream?
Oh, I did not on the stream. Thank you.
Oh, do you want to switch over, hon?
Oh yeah. Jesus.
Come on, producers. What are you doing?
I hope that doesn't mean that you're looking at the stream.
No, I wasn't.
Not that you would have seen anything then, but now you would.
Well, I'm gonna run up past Maeve and I'm gonna not whisper to her, just yell to her. It's like, call the shots. And I will run over here and stab this red cap if I can.
Yeah, you have +2 thanks to flanking, even though Pela's on the ground, but it's kind of looking at her right now, licking its blade as it starts to raise it up into the air.
22 hit.
22 does hit. Yes, go ahead and roll damage, and you do get whatchamacallit on it as well.
Sneak attack.
Sneak attack, that's the one.
I like sneak attack.
Okay, so 3 plus 5, so 8 piercing damage. 2, 4, 6 fire damage, and we get 4d6 at this level.
Woo!
11 sneak attack damage.
All right. Yeah, so you come up behind it with your flame tongue dagger and just sort of reach down and like stab it in the top of the head, and it just seems to be sort of like mumbling incoherently, unless you speak Sylvan. Do you speak Sylvan?
I do.
I do not.
Okay, so those who speak Sylvan, it still seems to be mumbling a bit incoherently, but the words that you do pick out of it are yummy blood, fresh meat.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Ooh. I don't like
Nope.
those at all.
No, thank you.
End of your turn, Leo?
Yeah, I'm going to. Well, no, I'm going to use my bonus action to give Maeve advantage on her next attack.
Okay.
Cool.
Rosalind, I
Yes.
need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
I don't want to. Alrighty. Let us see what we got for that. Wisdom saves. Oh, actually, I'm okay on wisdom saves. 22.
Okay. You feel your body becomes a bit sluggish, almost kind of stiff for a moment, but you're able to shake it off. Pela,
Yeah.
as you are beginning to get yourself back up, you notice in front of you a golden beam about maybe 4 foot tall from the ground, and it slowly, well, not slowly, kind of goes shoom and like opens in front of you, and you see the cliff and the rock face to the north here, and you see this little thing that sort of steps through, cloaked and oily black skin, and it steps through and smiles at you as it grabs your arcane crystal and then steps back through.
Nope. Don't like any of that.
Can I get an
Maeve.
opportunity attack on him?
That is a good question. I believe you can.
All
Yep.
right.
Go for it.
All right. Spend advantage. Roz is gonna be like, hey, no, you don't. 18 to hit.
18 hits, yeah. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Yep. We'll spend a second level spell slot for a big ol' radiant smite.
Oh.
This doesn't happen to be a fiend and/or undead, does it?
It does not.
Okay. So there's that.
You're doing one-handed, so 10.
Yeah. So 10 damage there plus. So 10 slashing damage. And then Divine Smite. So second level Divine Smite is what? 3d8?
Yes.
I've only been a paladin this whole game. You think I would know it by now?
Yeah, I was just a paladin on Saturday, so I'm trying my best.
How did I roll a 9 on my first one?
So sorry. 10 was the sword damage.
10 slashing damage plus 19 radiant damage.
Ooh.
Big ouch.
Okay, so you nearly fry this little thing, and you can see where it was that it came from, sort of up here, and you watch it goes, and it just like drops the crystal up there, and then begins to scurry away into the darkness. So it seems to have ran off. Your crystal now, though, is right up there. Actually, that's hard to see, and also on the DM layer, so you didn't see where I drew that. Your crystal is right up here on the rocks. That's about 15 feet up. So until you get that back, you cannot cast any spells that would require a material component.
Yeah, material.
Yep. All right, Maeve.
Way to make me pay attention to things.
Okay. So is the red cap the only enemy I see up?
That you see here currently. You can take your action to do a perception check to see if you notice anything else here that you can call, that I'll let you call out to people.
Okay, Leo, does your advantage last until I use it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Here's what I want to do. Hold on. Let me just check something real quick. Perfect. Okay. I am going to I will spend my action to do a perception check to look for enemies.
Yep. So go ahead and roll perception and add advantage because you're Maeve.
15.
All right. So let's see which of these pass with their stealth, which is at disadvantage because they're little iron boots. That guy made it with a 19 and a 20. Damn.
Damn it. Yeah, I didn't roll very high.
That one does not. So you notice one over here in the brush.
All right. I will
That
call.
one. Well, hold on. There's going to be a few
Oh,
more.
sorry.
I'm basically going
shit.
through like each of them. They're all making stealth
Okay.
rolls right now.
Gotcha.
You've rolled these dice a concerning number of times.
I know.
Ooh, these guys actually have a lot. Oh,
Is this the one, Robbie?
this is the one.
Okay.
As Maeve suddenly starts to realize, oh, there's an infestation here.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Well, I was going to have Luster fly and get the thingamabob. Is he gonna have an attack of opportunity though with flying?
Oh,
Or is-
he might. There's a boggle there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might.
I'm still gonna do it because I want Pale to have her thing. So, go ahead and let the boggle attack him.
Okay. 9 plus 1, so 10.
No, that misses.
All right.
So he will take 30 feet of flying movement and pick up the crystal and then use the remaining 10 to go here.
All right, so he currently has the crystal.
He a bigger boy now.
You still have your movement.
Yeah.
And did you use a bonus action?
No.
Okay, use your
I
bonus
did. I'm
action.
sorry. What am I thinking? Yes, Luster's the bonus action.
Right. All right. So in that
Um,
case,
yeah.
it is
Go ahead, Zana.
Zana's turn. She'll move to right here so she can see the boggle that's next to you, Maeve. And
Thank you.
take a shot at it. 2 shots. First one hits. Second one hits. She does 7 and 13 for 20 damage. As she puts 2 bullets into that thing, and it kind of starts to whine as you see some of its blood just like shoot out the back of it onto the ground, and a look of fear kind of cover its face.
Ugh.
Pela, it's your turn. I'm going to assume half your movement to get up.
Of course, and as I do so, I'm gonna point at this one that kicked me in the back and just utter die and cast Toll the Dead on it.
Okay, that is a wisdom save.
Wisdom save DC is 16 on that.
Something tells me these things they have a +1 for 14, so it fails. Go ahead and roll your damage.
2d12.
2d12.
I'm so sad that they rolled so low.
15.
15
On what?
damage. On their initiative. If they would have went
Oh.
first off the top of that, but I figured
God.
all of them getting a
That-
sneak attack round on you would have been a little rough.
Yeah, that might have made
Been a
that
bit
might make a big difference.
Yep. Would you like to move closer to Luster and use your bonus action to take your spell focus from him?
That thing's still alive.
It is.
In that case, no.
All right.
He'll come to you.
Hermia, it is your turn.
I'm gonna attack this boggle right here.
All right. Boggle. Go ahead.
Okay. First one is, what is this? Is a 19 hit?
A 19 does hit. Yep, go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. And that is a. I can do this. 11 points of damage.
Okay.
And then the second hit. 14 plus 9.
That'll hit as well. Yep, go ahead and roll your damage.
And that is 12.
Shifting Mave is what that was called.
Ugh, I miss that ability so much.
All right, you slash and slice at this thing, cutting off or cutting into. You can't see the usual mark that Formir leaves in this, but it does squeal and screech as you attack it.
Okay.
I will say, because you're now so close to this thing as well, you do notice that where it was hiding, there seems to be this substance, and Maeve, you now notice it too, on the ground in the space where it's at.
Substance?
Yep, there just seems to be some sort of. It has a consistency visually with its skin, so you're not sure exactly what it is.
I'm gonna
you'd like to
bonus
touch
action
it.
hex on it, and then that'll be my turn.
All right, hex on the boggle.
You said oily, so I'm assuming that like a rainbow sheen.
Yeah, it kind of has like a bit of like a rainbow sheen to it.
Oh, weird.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
Leaf is going to move to here. And I think only one of these has had their attack so far. So Leaf's going to move by Hermia and up here to Pela. And let me see if he has a wild shape. He does. So you watch as his joints begin to glow and kind of disjoint and separate a bit, held together now by what looks like stars as a chalice of constellation forms and is emitted from his chest. And he will cast a second level Cure Wounds on you for 17 healing, plus his Moon
Not
Sickle lets him do an additional
D4.
D4. So 17 and
And did you add the chalice?
1. So 18. What does the chalice do exactly?
He gets to add another. He could heal somebody else, but I probably wouldn't.
guess
He can
probably
do an
so his hit
extra like
points.
1d8 plus wisdom.
Sorry, where did it go? Okay, so yeah, what does that put you at? What does the 18 put you at? Probably not enough. Yeah, we'll give you another
Is
D8.
18 the total? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, there's more.
It would be 27. Well, that's what I haven't changed anything yet.
Yeah, so then take another 11 on top of that.
29.
So 29.
Oh god, I love chalice form. And now, honey, I can twin spell Cure Wounds. That has saved our butts before.
And that will be the end of Leaf's turn. So Rosalind, you are up.
All right, Roz will step up to here, and she's gonna swing Radiant Sister at this one.
Swing on it.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Ho, almost a 2 instead of an 18. 25.
25 will hit.
All right. Let's see. Oh, nice. So that is what's her plus modifier right now. That is going to be 14 slashing damage.
All right. As you slash down, you sort of cut across his eyes. You see one of them kind of goes flying off onto the ground, and it spits some blood towards you and then is still just foaming at the mouth and is having trouble, like it's kind of swaying like it's about to lose consciousness, but still wants fresh meat.
Holy shit, it's
These
still up?
things are-
Gross.
How many of these things do we have to kill?
A lot.
Ah!
All right, I'll attack again then.
Yep.
23 to hit.
All right, so this time, after seeing that it hasn't quite gone down, you just kind of like reach Radiant Sister down and just push the tip into that empty eye socket until it stops moving and just kind of tips over backwards.
Oh, hell. Then she's going to move down here in between these two,
Okay.
and she's going to cast Bastion of the Meek on this one.
Okay. Oops.
And that is my turn.
All right.
Boy.
With that,
That's-
it's the Red Cap's turn.
They about to surround you.
So this one's going to run out towards Leo and is going to jump kick at you. Leo, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity.
Yep.
+8, 18, 26.
Yeah. All right. So you are able to step out of the way as it sort of jumps and tries to kick you with these iron boots and misses. But then it jumps right back up and begins swinging its sickle at you. One of them is a 9 to hit, which misses. The other one, however, is a natural 20. It's only 2d4, though, so can't be that much. So
I'm still going to use Uncanny Dodge.
you take 10 slashing damage, reduced
For the
to
best.
5.
I mean, yeah, that's what I would do too.
This other red cap is going to come down and beat you in the face, too.
Probably.
This one runs towards Pela. Pela,
Oh, no.
God.
We just healed you!
Dexterity saving throw, please.
I don't care for this.
Whenever I'm the healer, I have the same attitude of healing as I do when I clean something.
21
I
on that
just
one.
couldn't do
All
it.
right, so you are able to avoid being drop kicked this time, and then he's going to swing his sickle at you twice. Does a 14 hit your AC?
Nope.
Does a 19?
It would until I then uttered the thing and used shield.
Okay, then yeah, both of them
Yeah,
miss.
shield
Or
is
the-
just verbal semantic.
The second
Somatic.
one, at the very least, glances off of your shield. Roz, I
Yeah.
need you to make 2 dexterity saving throws.
Damn, they can even do it at point blank range, huh?
Yep. They basically just jump up and try to kick you in the chest and the side with their iron boots.
All right, here's the first one.
Who made them their
Rabbit
boots?
Mario.
And here's the second one.
All right, so
Yeah, where can we get those boots?
so putting your shield up to take the blow of the first one does nothing to you, and the second one kind of hits you in your shoulder, which you're able to take the brunt of. So neither of them hit you, and they're both going to swing on you with their sickles.
Oh,
First
thank God. It
one.
hit me in the good shoulder.
First one is 22.
That, I do believe, is a hit. I don't have Guild of Faith up. So yeah, hit.
Then you take 11 slashing damage.
All right. Remember, the one that has Bastion the Meek also gets advantage.
20 to hit.
Yep. No, sorry. That does
Oh,
not
wait,
hit.
sorry. 22.
That does hit.
Darn it.
Then that's going to be another 10 slashing damage.
Yep.
And then the second one misses with both of his.
All right.
And Maeve, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage, as one that you did not see comes running out of the brush towards you.
Okay. All right. Well, one was a natural 20, but can't take that, so I'll take the 15 plus 8, which is 23.
Luckily, Zana calls out to you, and you turn just in time to see it, stepping out of the way as it sails past you, and then jumps back up and comes swinging at you wildly. First attack is a natural 20.
Ow.
Ah, dice, come here. For a total of 16 slashing damage.
Ow. All right.
And then the second one, I don't think hits you, a 17.
Actually, I think it does. Yeah, that hits.
Nice.
Yeah, my AC is really low.
Oh, and that was double 4s on the D4s. So that's going to be a total of 12 slashing damage for the second attack.
Ow. Okay.
With that, we are back around, I believe, to Leo.
Shit. Okay, I'm gonna smack... Would I get sneak attack on the one next to Pela?
Yes, because she's adjacent to it. Yep.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna smack that one. Drop my fucking D20 on the ground. Does an 18 hit?
An 18 does hit, yep.
That is 8 piercing damage. 1 plus 4, 5 fire damage. And I'll do the sneak attack damage. And 17 sneak attack damage.
17, not bad. As you reach out and slash at it with your dagger, and then it just kind of turns and just like lets out this low, high-pitched guttural like squeal at you.
I'm gonna turn to Pela and it's like, run! And I'm gonna use my bonus action to disengage, and I'm going to run up here to try to draw their attention to me.
Okay. End of your turn then?
Yep.
All right. Leo, make a wisdom saving throw.
I think I'm good at those. Plus 2, 14, 16.
As Leo runs off and turns and says, Pela, run! You all watch as Leo becomes a sheep.
What?
What?
A
Oh
sheep?
no, not polymorph.
Yep.
Oh,
Leo
no!
suddenly turns into a sheep.
Oh.
I still have the cigar in my mouth.
You do still have a cigar in your mouth, absolutely. 100% you have a cigar in your mouth.
Oh, good. Oh, good. This is great.
This Boggle. Actually, this one's gonna run. It's hurt. It starts to run away. You can take your opportunity attack
Hey,
if you
get
if
back
you want.
here!
You want to take your opportunity attack on it?
Yeah.
Go for it. Swing away.
That is a 13 plus 9.
Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
So great. Where are you? That is only a 7.
It's exactly what you needed. And as you reach out with Thormir and kind of poke it just in the back of the head, it just like turns into the substance on its skin and just seems to splash onto the ground.
Oh. Okay.
This one is going to jump over here behind Maeve.
Hey,
and
look out!
You watch it just kind of like a dog that just came in from the rain and just starts to like shake itself.
Oh.
And you see this liquid splatter off of it onto the ground, and then it's going to take off into the woods. Would you like to make an opportunity attack on it, Maeve? I don't know if you have
I would.
a
Yeah.
melee weapon on you or not.
I do. I'll use it.
Yep, go ahead.
25.
Yep, go ahead, roll damage.
5.
All right, you were able to slash at it, and it yelps. But beyond that, it keeps running. That's 5, 10, 15, 25, 30, and disappears into the brush. Let's see, this one over here. Is Rosalind, you see this now, as it sort of waves its hands around. This little golden thread appears in front of it and opens up, and as it steps through it, it appears up next to Leo and starts shaking itself, throwing this weird liquid all over the ground.
I am not touching that.
Oops. Oh, come on. You don't even know what it does.
I
Is
do
there
not
a
like
particular
unidentified.
reason that those ones are red?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, great.
Okay.
If you'd like to find out why...
No.
That'll come later.
Oops. Actually, no, this guy steps up here and starts throwing his weird liquidy stuff all over the ground behind you, Roz. And then is going to step through a portal of his own up here. Roz, if you have your reaction, you can take an opportunity attack.
Yeah. She's gonna do exactly. And we will spend a inspo on this one because it's starting to get a little spooky up in here. Oh, I almost rolled double 5s instead 25.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Yeah. We'll spend another smite.
Oh, Payla's just doing the fireball sweep.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh God, what's happening?
Wow. All right, that is going to be 11 slashing plus 19 radiant. I'm sorry, 12 slashing plus 18 radiant.
Why is that bottle
That
moving?
is enough. As it steps through, you manage to poke it through the head with Radiant Sister. And as it goes through its little portal thing, you see it just splash onto the ground in a puddle of whatever it was that it was throwing around. And with that, Maeve, it is your turn.
All right. Well, she is grimacing in pain and does not like being up close and personal. But,
Where are you going to go, Maeve?
huh?
Where are you going to
I'm-
step?
I'm not stepping anywhere. I can't
Oh.
afford an opportunity attack.
You can step there without an opportunity attack.
That's not gonna help me though. Either way.
That's fair.
The problem is I'm not at range.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't have to shoot at that one, luckily.
no, I'm just gonna attack with my sword and hope for the best.
Go for it.
Okay. I will use my action to attack.
You know, if you moved up one, you could be flanking. 22 hits.
No, I'm not. Okay, so 22 hits. There's the damage.
Okay.
And Lester, hold on, sorry, 1 second. Lester, are you within? You are. Okay. Add the acid to it.
Lester needs to give me my crystal back.
He will. I haven't done my bonus action yet. So that's acid damage plus 9 piercing, and then I get
Okay.
to make this is not the bonus action swipe. I can make a second attack.
Yes. Payla's
well,
like,
dude.
Lester, come here, boy. Bring the crystal here. Bring the crystal here.
He's giving that look like that a dog does sometimes, where it's like, I hear exactly what you're saying, but
But I don't know if I
Time.
want to yet.
yeah.
And then add, I assume 23 hits, add another 9 piercing to
Yes.
that. And then,
Our pupper gives us that look all the time.
okay, so those are my attacks. My bonus action, Luster's gonna go, oops, sorry, wrong one. 5, 10, gonna drop the crystal,
Okay.
and then 15, 20, 25.
Do I just have that, or do I have to spend?
We'll say that Luster dropped it into your hand.
Okay, awesome.
All right, now Luster, who has been flying, is landing here. I'm gonna do a bite attack.
All right, bite away, Luster.
Nom 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 nom.
25
25?
hits. Yep.
Yeah.
Doing
Get
pretty
him,
good.
Luster.
All right, so this is the piercing damage, and then this is the acid damage.
Total of 7. You got it.
You're like the opposite of your rolls from Saturday.
I know! God, that sucked!
All right, Zana is going to step away, taking an opportunity attack from the red cap, but it misses.
No, thanks,
Actually, no.
Anna.
She's not going to do that. She is going to reach down and tap this sort of blue, silvery, ornate buckle that she has on her belt, and is going to dimension door up here. And then is going to take a shot at this one that is harrying Pela. Okay, that's not misfire range, but it... No, actually, that might hit. It does. That hits. As does that.
I could really use a Misty Step. I guess I have Zephyr Strike and do the same thing still.
Yeah.
So that is 16 and 14 for a total of 30. Pela, you watch as the one harrying you is suddenly just reduced, or at least its head is reduced to a fine bloody mist, and like the body just falls to its knees and then tips over onto its side.
Its head explodes like a blood sausage.
Yep, just like a blood sausage, and it is your turn, Pela.
Okay, well, now that I've got my crystal back, I'm going to cast one of the very few spells actually on my list that requires material component.
Fireball.
Got it just in time.
Right on where the corpse of that one that first kicked me was, because that gets everything except that one over by Luster and Maeve.
Okay.
Using Sculpt Spell to make Leaf, Hermia, Rosalind, and Leo all safe from this.
What about you? Are you safe from this?
I don't have enough from that.
So you're
I'm
not
not
safe from this.
I'm taking a chance, yes.
All
How
right.
about... oh, God.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so let's
no.
go ahead and start with dexterity saving throws then. All right, so we'll start with
16.
the boggle up top. That one makes it. Then the one over
I
on
made
the,
my own save.
on
That's
the
good.
right
Great.
I'm happy to hear that.
makes it
Oh
as
my
well.
God.
The red cap near you does not make it. The two near Roz make it. Make it.
Jesus.
So everything except for this one made it, so go ahead and roll your damage. Thank you, Norris, for the subscription. You can actually choose one of the players up here to get an advantage with your sub.
Yeah, advantage.
So you all watch as Pela recites the incantation that you saw earlier, and directly in front of her just points at the ground, sending this little red bead that as soon as it hits, there's a massive explosion, and all of you shield yourself, expecting heat from these flames. Maeve, you get the inspiration. But as it's about to connect and envelop you, it's like there is a protective force field around you, and it just sort of creates this pocket that you're completely safe in it. You don't even feel the heat from the flames at all. What's the damage, Pela?
Everything that made it is 11 and 22 for 9.
Or the other one. You got it. And none of these things are happy about it, and are definitely squealing and screeching out in pain as they burn.
Oh.
Burn, baby, burn.
The weird substance on the ground doesn't seem to have been affected by it.
Not flammable.
Hermia,
Or inflammable.
it is
doesn't
your
matter.
turn.
What is left?
The ones near
One.
Roz, there's one over here, and there's some boggles, and
Yep.
Leo is a sheep.
There's 4 red caps left, and it looks like 2 boggles left.
Don't worry about me, I'm just away from the group.
I'm gonna, can I make it to this one?
You can. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Yep.
Okay, can I say I moved my hex to that one?
Yes.
You can do
Okay.
that on your turn.
Gotcha. Alright. So, hex, and then I'll hit it.
Swing away.
Oh, hold on. Okay, that is a 15 plus 9
Yeah, that hits.
and a 21.
Both of those hit. Go ahead and roll your
Okay.
damage as you run up with Fawir, and you hear in your head, he's like, oh, disgusting, despicable creatures.
Wow. Okay.
He doesn't like red caps either. They're basically axe murderers from the Feywild, is literally what they are. They are little
Okay.
gnomish axe murderers.
So the 2 strikes from Folomir, like, are both 10s, like, that's the damage. And then, let me get my hex.
You rolled 10 on both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my hex damage is a 6.
Okay. So you run up and slice twice through it, and for a second, its eyes kind of lull a bit as, like, this pain is rippling through its body. And then as it comes back to its senses, it just looks up at you and screams in your face.
Oh.
Oh, pleasant.
End of your turn?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Leaf is going to move this way, hoping it is a safer spot, and is going to cast, this time, Healing Word at first level on Pela. Did that work? It did. All right, so that is... let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17 points of healing, Pela.
I came out net positive from that fireball now.
There you go. And Rosalind, it is back around to you.
Okay. Roz is going to continue wailing on this one.
Okay.
We're gonna go. Let's spend inspo on this first one.
Sure.
See if we can get some work done here.
A crit and a smite would maybe do it in.
How about a 12 to hit?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think
12
so.
to hit is
Well-
not going to work.
We'll go again. There's the crit.
Oh, damn.
Hey!
All right, we will definitely do a heckin' smite.
All right, go for it. We got some damage coming through here now.
Yep. So that's going to be 16 slashing.
Okay.
Oh. One, two. And that's going to be 31 radiant.
All right. So you stab Radiant Sister down into this thing's throat and basically drive it through the body, and it kind of comes out one of the thighs into the ground, and then Radiant Sister glows, and from the blade outward, there's just this quick flash of divine energy. And as you pull it out and the brightness finally fades down and your eyes readjust, from where Radiant Sister entered to about 4 inches on all sides, you just see charred bone, and then the rest of this thing's body is just cracked, burnt in black, as it just stands there now, an ashen statue of what it once was.
Roz tears the sword out, and she's going to glance over in this direction, and she's going to spend her last bastion of the meek to shift it over to this guy.
Shift it over. You still have it on this one. Can you have it on multiple targets?
No, I have to move it. I can. Spend,
Oh,
but I can
okay,
spend
gotcha,
bonus-
gotcha.
I can spend my bonus action and another use of it to move it onto a different guy.
Gotcha. Okay, just making sure.
All right.
All right.
That is my last second level spell slot and my last Bastion of the Meek. So let's finish this up here, guys.
Agreed.
5, 10, 15, 20. Ugh. All right, this is going to suck. So this guy runs away from you and Luster, so you can both have an attack of opportunity as it just starts, like, again, mumbling Sylvan obscenities and now running towards its new target, which is Roz.
Luster cannot because he used his reaction for his infusion, but I will.
Okay.
15.
15 hits, yeah. Go ahead and make your attack.
Beautiful.
And it now has to run through the Boggle's stuff to get to Roz. So
I watch carefully what happens.
As it walks through the first one... Dexterity saving throw. Makes it. So you watch as it walks through this, its legs and feet kind of slip around a little bit, but it seems to keep its balance.
All right.
And then into the red one.
All right, so Slippery Boy.
It makes it, but you notice that its iron boots kind of stick to the ground a little bit. Roz,
Sticky boy.
I need you to
boy,
make
yeah.
a dexterity saving throw.
You
As
got
it
ice.
Damn it.
tries
got
to
ice
kick you.
and mud.
Yeah. I guess that's reasonable. Dex save. Boom, there it is. 17.
All right, you manage to stay up, and it's going to swing on you with its sickle.
I don't like that positioning. I'm flanked.
Yep. Yeah, so that hits. Second attack. That is going to be a 19 to hit.
Nope, that doesn't hit.
All right, so only one of them does, and you take 5, 9.
Just checking. Was that with advantage?
It was. Yep.
Okay, good.
9 slashing damage from it.
9 slashing it is. Boom.
All right. Seeing you distracted by that one and not wanting to go after, we'll say, more tender meat. This one's going to move up towards Pela. Rosalind, you can go ahead and make a no.
Nope.
No. Do you not have
Yes.
your reaction?
I do.
Okay, you can take your reaction if you want, as it's going to run over, and if it makes this save,
No,
drop kick
absolutely not. You are not going over to drop kick Maeve.
Please don't.
I will.
Go ahead.
That is my elf friend.
Aw, mighty elf friend. I gotta look at the other two. Wow.
Nat 20 again.
Woo!
All right,
Holy
go ahead
shit.
and make your
Damn.
attack.
And smite for days.
You have more. Oh, you have more.
I only have first level spell slots now, so it's not as
Yep,
good
yep.
at divine smite.
Okay, but it's still a divine smite.
Yeah.
It is.
So that's going to be
Still a
9 plus
crit.
6
Yes.
for damage for slashing. So that's 15 slashing
All right.
plus 1, 7, 11, 19 radiant.
Okay, it is unfortunately still up, but not looking good, as you seem to have taken out a large chunk of its back with the holy radiant energy from the divine smite. Maeve, I need you to make
Yeah.
a dexterity saving throw, please.
All right, I'm gonna spend advantage so that maybe I can not get hurt as much.
Are you proficient in dex saves?
I am, thankfully. 17 plus 8 is 25.
Yep, you make it. So he'll swing on you with his other 2 attacks. 16 to hit.
No.
Unfortunately, both of them miss, as he seems to be having a little bit of trouble with the sticky stuff that he is standing in. Leo, or Sheepo, it is your turn.
Shio sounds better.
Shio, all right, Shio.
Gee, I like sheepo.
I'm a sheep, right? I
You
have
are a
the
sheep,
Faculties of a sheep. Don't
You-
give a shit about anything else.
No.
or-
You still have your mental stats, so you're still Leo. You're just
Oh,
a
okay.
sheep.
You just.
Meh.
So I think you have like
I'm
a,
sheep lady.
we'll say a +2 is your attack, and you can hoof something for like 1d4 minus 1, if you'd like to.
Have
you-
you ever been kicked by a sheep?
It hurts. If Leaf were actually
Yeah.
here, Leaf would turn into Leaf Sheep, so that Leah wouldn't feel so alone.
That's true.
Can I like if I can just come over and horse
Try,
kick this thing.
try and kick it. Yeah, go ahead. Roll a d20. Add 2.
Warning: in this form, I cannot talk.
Ah.
17 plus 2 to hit.
That hits. Roll a d4.
Ugh.
3, and you said -1, so 2
Yep,
damage.
so 2 damage as Leaf just kind of goes over and like kicks this little boggle in the face, and it's like, yeah.
Weird.
All right, back around to someone else's turn. What does this do? No. All right, Boggles' turns. Oh, Boggles. This one steps through its doorway and seems to vanish, as does
Nope.
this one. Leo, you can make an opportunity attack as a sheep if you'd like to.
Please.
A sheep opportunity attack.
16 plus 2 to hit.
Yeah, so all right. So as it goes through, you kind of go to kick it again and manage to get it right in the ass as it steps through its portal to where you're not sure.
A
3
bomb
damage
opportunity
this time. I
attack.
rolled a 4.
Yeah, and so with there being, there's basically 2 red caps left, one with 11 HP, one with 12. We'll say that both Maeve and Hermia are able to finish them off over the next few seconds. And all seems quiet.
Oh, I do not like those.
Immediately just plop straight down onto the ground, breathing heavily.
Ugh.
I will say
Okay.
that with you and Leaf's passive perception at the end of this battle, you notice this great horned owl that was perched up on the rocks sort of takes flight, flies a small circle, and then seems to go back down into the forest somewhere to the left of where this battle and this encampment was.
Hermia, do you have any legends of your people about great horned owls?
You do not.
Nope. Not really.
Okay.
But
one
it
was just-
is the first, but outside of like signs of like tracks and stuff like that, it is the first wildlife that you've seen here so far.
Right. Yeah, I do mention that because, yeah.
strange. Is Leo still a sheep?
Yes.
Is there a way to get Leo not sheepified?
Zana walks up and goes, Hermia, this looked like a polymorph spell to you?
Yeah.
I can fix that.
Leo, you take 5 damage as Zana kicks you, and you turn back into Leo.
There we go.
So
Oh.
1 damage carries over.
Oh,
Yeah.
that works.
Yeah.
Polymorph not as dangerous as true polymorph.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Fair enough.
You know what? I used to
I
wonder
suppose
why.
that works too.
I used to wonder why my mom would like leave the Feywild to go stay in Fano. I get it now. Now it actually, you know what? I'm putting it together.
Yeah, there's a reason why I wasn't allowed to leave the city.
I can see that.
Indeed.
Oh,
Well, that horned owl was suspicious, but I mean, wildlife is strange around here.
Roz is bleeding pretty heavily, and she looks fucking gassed.
Yeah, so does Maeve.
Ugh.
Let's see.
Why am I fine?
You weren't hit. That happens sometimes. Let's see. Roz, I might have. Oh, wait, did we determine that spells work again, right?
They do.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, it only shut off within like 10 feet.
Of
Is
the
that
wall.
stuff still on the ground?
It is, yes.
Okay. Well, if go ahead.
Okay.
I was gonna
As-
ask if Pela can like identify it or something or knows what it is.
I will walk over in between the 2 different spots and have a go at it.
Yeah, so taking a look at it, once you get a little bit closer now and kind of poking it with some sticks and stuff, you can tell that one of them is like a slippery secretion and the other is a bit more sort of like viscous and sticky. And it just seems to be some sort of natural secretion that those creatures threw off of them. And as all of you are taking a moment to kind of take in your surroundings and surveying the area, Maeve, you and Leaf especially can tell now those signs of sort of like the prelude to a battle are more prominent here, that something happened here even before the battle you just had. The signs are old and weathered. Time has swept across, but some of the clues are just as clear. You start to notice arrows in trees, blade marks on bark, wayward scorches across trees and rocks. Give me 2 perception checks from the group. Somebody, Maeve will obviously do it with advantage. Somebody else can do it with an advantage because of Leaf.
I'll do it.
17.
Okay.
Ooh, it's a nat 20 thanks to Leaf.
Okay. The 2 of you even find the remains of 2 skeletons about 15 feet off in the brush, towards where that great horned owl had went. The bones have been gnawed on. They're missing any kind of armor or weapons, but they don't look old. In fact, they're like bone white. Hermia, with a natural 20, you also notice where the skeletons are sort of strewn about, there's a tree on either side that is missing a large chunk of it. This tree is probably about 2 to 3 feet thick, both of them, and there's a large section of about maybe 2 feet that seems to have been blown out of it. Like half of that side of the tree is just missing. There's just this big gash in it. And it's on each of these trees facing each other. And you can even see on some of the bones, specifically the skulls of each, the left side of one, the right side of the other, there are large splinters of wood implanted in their skulls. And I'll say that with a natural 20, you surmise that these trees may have exploded somehow as these 2 were walking past them and the debris killed them. And fuck it, with a natural 20, the state of the skeletons is also probably related to the red caps and the boggles taking or stripping the flesh off of whoever or whatever these were.
Oh.
So when you say the trees exploded, like the actual tree like exploded, or I don't know what I'm trying to say.
So again, the tree is technically still there, but there's like a 2 foot, like almost crater in the side of the tree, like part of the tree just burst outwards.
Like someone put like an explosive inside it and it popped out.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
got it.
Is the skull? Oh wait, no, you wouldn't be able to tell. Never mind.
You want to try to figure out if they're Eladrin?
Yeah, or elf. Like.
Make a medicine check for me.
Shit, that is not my strong suit. Okay.
I am trained in medicine if you want to point it out to me or borrow mine.
Okay, Maeve.
I will
look at this thing.
say with Maeve, it'll give you advantage.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Ooh. I got a 19 and a 20.
A natural 20?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you and Maeve are kind of checking them over, you do notice a few telltale signs. The back of the skull, there's a slight sort of slant to the back and sort of bottom of the skull, and just a way that the cavity that would be where the ear is a bit more open and a bit wider than it is for normal humanoids. You're pretty sure that these are Elven or Eladrin.
Okay. So definitely elf.
Hmm.
Not sure what kind.
Well, given that no one has been able to cross from the other side, I suppose your people would make sense.
Yeah. I think we would do well to keep moving.
And check the trees, maybe.
Yeah.
Where did you say the animal you saw was?
The great horned owl. I'll point to where it flew.
Okay, Maeve points into the direction. Do you all move towards it or in that direction?
And Roz, she'll toss you a greater potion of healing that she cooked up.
Ooh.
If you attempt to take it, Leaf goes, do not need to waste the potion. This one can still heal.
Okay.
And what does he have left? He still has
Well,
these
I've got
spell
plenty of
slots.
Keratem's ointments, so why don't you Leaf heal up Maeve and I'll I can Keratem's ointment. I've got plenty of those.
Okay,
left.
well hold on, because he does still have quite a few spell slots left.
Okay.
So Maeve, go ahead and heal for, let's see, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28.
Nice.
Do you still need more?
No, she's full.
I'm at 50 out of 57,
Okay, you
Oh,
should be
yeah, I
fine.
can't math.
Roz,
which is pretty good.
he will drop a first level into you. We'll say this is the last he has of his chalice form. That was almost a 6, but instead it's an 8. So let's see. So 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 23.
I could use some healing.
So,
Joking.
do you all
Alright.
head towards the den?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
I
we
would
gotta-
like to. I'm
Uh,
very wary of the trees.
Yeah, Leo,
Sure.
Zana, do you two want to take point actually for right now and see if you can't make sure these trees aren't trapped?
Sure. Leo,
Yeah.
go ahead. Why don't you go ahead and make a perception check with advantage?
It's with advantage. So
Um,
really bad without it.
Zana is giving you advantage.
So +8, 16, 24.
Okay. You don't notice anything else out of the ordinary that hasn't already been seen or pointed out. But as you all slowly begin to move your way forward, you do notice the mouth of a cave here. Near the front of the cave, there's a curious sign. Hermia, you're actually the one that notices it first, or at least the significant of it. There's a few small chunks of this pink prismatic crystal. For those of you who have seen it, which I believe would be Maeve, Zana, Pela, make a history check for me. Hermia, obviously.
Wait, me?
No. I'm saying you are
15.
part of those who know it.
Oh.
You've never seen it before in person, but you recognize it from what you've read about it, Pela. This has a striking similarity to Broomstone, which is a magical ore that is used to keep skyships afloat. But there's something off about it. It's not normally this sort of pink prismatic color. Hermia, you recognize them because the pink coloration comes from being charged with the chaotic energies of the Feywild. This is the same crystals that are used to keep Venenthia afloat. The area around the entrance to this cavern looks like glass. It has an unnatural sheen to it. There's a small crater just in front of the entrance, maybe 20 feet wide, that's centered there in front of the cave entrance. It has like this glass-like effect that stretches out another 20 feet from that. There are no signs of the battle in the vicinity of this phenomenon.
Someone want to fill the Kalishtar in?
Yeah, Bailey would basically just repeat what he was saying about it resembles this, but it's a bit different. But with a bit of like jargon thrown in.
Yep. Yeah, and there's maybe, from what you can see, there's only like maybe 3-4 fist-sized chunks of it out here.
So are we going in?
Might as well.
Let's be on
Can
our
we
guard
collect these
If you'd
magical
like to.
things? It might be worth something.
Yeah.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, if you'd like to, put in your inventory that you have 3 chunks of Venethia Broomstone.
then. Can you spell that in the chat?
Chunks of Venethia Broomstone. You have 3 of those.
Just so I know, does there seem like
Inflammable finger.
does there seem like anything anywhere else to go? Like, is this another path that leads onward deeper into the forest?
This is a sort of cave in the...
No, down here on the map. Sorry, on the.
Oh,
lower
I'm
right.
sorry. I'm sorry. I thought that I brought you guys back into the main thing. We are done with that map now.
Okay, got it.
There we go.
All right. Then Rosal nod. Okay, well, caves, those always go so well for us. Why not? And,
Who's going in first?
You've had troubles before?
No, we never had any problems whatsoever. Roz gives a big stupid grin, and then she'll go in.
Oh, I
I'll
doubt
go
there'll
in
be
after
zombies
Roz.
at the end of this one, Roz.
I'll go after Roz.
All right, Roz and Hermia both make a perception check for me.
Here we go.
My best.
I was gonna go in. I will wait.
Is that a disadvantage because Roz doesn't have dark vision?
Wow.
No, you're just stepping into it, and there's enough light coming down through
I
the...
got an 18.
Okay,
11.
so Roz steps through as you, Hermia, notice there are runes carved at the top of the entryway.
Oh, before I walk through, or?
You notice it before you walk through, but
Roz, wait!
What?
Roz, you stop 1 foot in and look up and see the runes above you in the entryway. You freeze.
Oh, shit.
Okay, let's slow
Who-
down.
Pela, you get an inspo from Juxta.
Thank you.
Roz, what would you like to do?
Do they seem to have reacted to my presence?
Not yet.
Let's.
Roz is gonna slowly and cautiously step back.
These maves don't look familiar to me, right?
They do not.
Okay.
Are they active?
Any 2 people who would like to make an Arcana check.
Not me. I will leave that to the mages.
Can I put on Elroy and do it?
Let's start with Hermia and Pela since they.
18.
21.
All right. So looking at them, the 2 of you know that these are protection and warding runes, but they seem to be burnt out.
Oh.
Oh.
The
False alarm.
the glass effect
Something.
that from outside, based on where the epicenter seems to be from this little crater and how far it reached, it should have reached here inside the cave as well, but didn't. Hermia, I will say that with your roll, it's likely that the warding runes stopped it, but took all the power they had and probably burnt themselves out.
Oh.
Roz gives a very large sigh of relief. Okay.
Let's try this again.
Yep. All right. Onward and downward.
Further in, you find all the telltale signs of something having been squatting in here. Branches, leaves, and soft wood form a makeshift bed in the corner. A large stump serves as a chair in front of a naturally low-cut piece of rock, forming a shelf that almost serves as sort of like a desk. There are several jars and containers, some liquids you can't quite identify, some creatures and creature parts you both can and can't. And the walls are covered in scrawlings from chalk and blood, most of it gibberish, at first glance. And then lastly, in the back of the cave, you notice a small illuminated alcove, but it's unnatural. It's like someone carved out the stone in a way that hides it from view unless you're looking for it. What would you like to do?
Wow.
Check the alcove.
All right. As Hermia heads back and looks around, in the alcove is a doorway that leads from the back of this cave, but the frame is made of twisting branches embedded and growing out of the stone. It should lead further into the rocks, and yet you see through this door a shimmering visage of perfect natural beauty, a small pond with golden green lily pads, patches of flowers that sway in the wind and change colors from red to purple to blue and back again, trees with boughs of lush yellow and orange leaves, and a perfectly spherical blue fruit that seems to bob in the wind. You recognize this, Hermia?
Yeah, it's the Feywild.
It's home. Specifically, Hermia, you have been here. This is the pools of the blood-drunk jester. You passed through this area on your way to the Black Canopy. Make a history check for me.
That was not so good. Where's my history? That is an 8 plus 5, so 13.
That is just what you need to get a little bit of lore, up to you if you care or want to use it. But a former unnamed member of the Unseelie court who tried to play both courts against one another was cursed by both the Seelie and the Unseelie. Legends are that he could only survive by drinking the blood of his children. Eventually, after a few generations of raising kids just to feast on them, he was killed, and when he was, all the blood he had ever consumed poured from his fatal wound and grew the garden that is now known as the pools of the blood-drunk jester.
I'll tell that to the party. And I'll be like, yeah, my brother used to tell me that before we were going to sleep.
That's
That's
terrifying.
that's a terrible bedtime story.
How utterly fascinating.
No. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. You're saying that's the Feywild?
Yeah, it's pretty, isn't it?
It is.
It's gorgeous.
I feel like
Very scenic.
though when it's pretty, that means it's dangerous.
I
Is that
mean-
not true?
It's close to the Black Canopy, which is like, they're like, oh, never go there. But I like went there. That's where I found Fulmir.
Oh.
Oh. So are we near where you were before you came to our world?
It's about a day's travel in the Feywild from the location that you're seeing. Maeve, you notice something moving amongst the bushes and the trees within the Feywild through the doorway.
There's something there.
What?
Something moving.
Uh,
I'm going to take my bow out and basically just be careful.
You hear from the other side, it's kind of warbled, like trying to talk to someone through a waterfall, like water's sort of hitting the sound. And you hear from the other side, now, there's no need for that. And stepping out of the bushes, 7 feet tall, hunched over with a green cloak, impossibly long, like double-jointed arms and legs, these long, spindly fingers with cracked black nails 2-3 inches long. You see the decrepit, wrinkled, bulbous face of a hag. I've seen what you can do. There's no need. I pose no more danger.
Guys,
Hermia.
those are hags and they like steal children and shit, so
Hermie, I have an important
I
question for you.
Yeah, no, we do that sometimes. Yes.
Hermie, important question for you.
yes.
Do you want to go home?
Not right now.
Okay. All in favor of us breaking this doorway?
Does it look like anybody has walked through the doorway before? Like, are there like footprints? Probably not.
Make a perception check.
You want me to assist?
Yes, please.
Sure.
Okay, here I go. I got two of the same. Perception. Where are you? 19.
All right. Well, we'll just give you the one of them in Maeve with the natural 20. Not on this side, but just through the portal, you do notice fresh footprints in the soil that seem to be about the size of the hag's long, jagged toenailed feet that you can see on the other side. I enjoyed the
mentioned-
little fight you put on for me. It was impressive. Even with me adding a little magic in to spice things up. And she locks eyes with you, Leo, and goes, bah.
Oh, so that was your doing then.
You survived. You're looking for something, aren't you? Her head.
Have we used the seeing stone today?
Yeah.
I think,
This time-
yeah, we
God
did.
damn it.
She
Yeah.
begins to sort of turn her head as she's looking
Believed it.
at all of you, like impossibly far to the side, and you eventually hear like a crack.
What is your anatomy?
So, this is I'm probably gonna be like at major disadvantage, but the only thing I can else think about is just to like tap into my connection with Leander and see like if I can feel it.
Let me ask you this before you do.
Uh-huh.
Is Foamir sheathed or is he drawn?
He's currently sheathed.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make a. Just roll a d20 and add your charisma.
Okay, here we go. Where's my charisma? 17 plus 5.
You can feel a faint connection. And as you do that, her head begins to turn, sort of cricking the other way until you hear that same snap. And her eyes, these deep yellow irises, seem to sort of be studying Hermia. You're looking for something, young one. Has it brought you back home? It's curious that mortals from the prime material plane were able to pierce that wall.
Why is that wall there?
She shrugs, a curious frown crossing her face. There seems to have been an incident. I'm not sure the particulars behind the unnatural phenomenon, but I found this door here, and I believe the magics of it are what's feeding it. It's also what myself and other creatures have used to take a little vacation into the forests there.
When she says that, can I look at the doorway? Does it look familiar to other portals we've closed in the past?
No, this is not like the portals that you've closed before.
Oh,
How
so
about would it match anything that I would know about?
I would say, go ahead and make an Arcana check. You are familiar with sort of portals
9.
in concept. 9. With that, the only other thing that you kind of know is that depending on the seasons and the locations, sometimes portals to the Feywild do open naturally.
Would I know that?
Likely
would-
not the case in this one, though.
Correct, and I would say that because of what Hermia knows as well, the frame on this leads you to believe that it was
Someone made it.
created. Yes.
Roz looks at Hermia. You want I should break it?
So when I felt my connection with him, did I feel it like a particular pulling in any which way, or just
You just
it's
know
too
that
far away?
Yeah, you just know that connection is there.
I don't know. I mean, it looks like someone might have came through here. Like all signs like we passed have indicated that someone traveled this way. So it's possible.
I can help you learn what happened out there.
Okay, rule number 1, never make a deal with the hag.
Well, first of all,
You did just tell us you didn't know.
you don't take things from Fey folk. Or sign contracts, don't do that either. But a trade for a trade, there's nothing wrong from that when you hope to gain. If you're
Still a
curious
deal.
about what happened, I may be able to show you.
Show us how.
Magic, my dear. I can replay certain events if I have the materials.
What materials would you need?
Her hands come out of her cloak, and she seems to have some odd-looking bones and stones. Oh, look. There they are.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Then what would you need from us?
Well, there isn't anything that you have that I'm aware of that I want, so what do you have to offer?
Don't answer that.
Not to be a wet blanket, but I'm just gonna point out my mom was very clear about dealing with Fae. Anything that uses bones, you don't want to work with.
Well,
I mean, that's
first of
fair.
all,
I
you
simply don't like the
rude
open
ogre.
nature of that.
we all
Ogre.
have bones. Yourself included.
Wow.
Your friend is Faye, and she has bones, yet you deal with her.
My mom was Fae too, and I worked with her, but nah.
Well, parents tend to be overprotective. Nothing is without its risks, but if you want answers, look. I could have fried you when you were fighting those red caps, and as she snaps her finger, there's a spark of lightning. But I didn't. Tell you what, we don't know each other. Perhaps that's the reason why. You prime material folk are always about trusting and knowing. So, introductions. My name is Risha Klain of the Dark Moon Coven.
Don't
the
tell
Unseelie
them your
Court.
name.
Ah, she's right, you see. Rule number 2 is to never give your true name, but I gave you mine. It doesn't need to be your true name. I'm just trying to show it as a, what do you call it, sign of good faith? And one of her eyes, like, rolls backwards and then back out again.
Ugh.
Does her name, or what did she say? She's from a court?
I will copy and
You can
paste it.
type it.
Yep.
Yeah, like
So, the Dark Moon...
on.
You know what? Actually, make a history check for me, Hermia.
okay.
You recognize the Unseelie Court. In the Feywild, the two major power players are the Unseelie and the Seelie Court.
Okay, I got a 19 plus. Where's my history? 5.
Okay. The Dark Moon Coven rings some bells. You can't remember anything specific, but you're sure it's probably some sort of uninfluential. In the same way that in Venentia, you have your noble houses, your sort of like middle, and then you have your
Right.
lower houses that are technically noble but really don't have any power or influence whatsoever. The Dark
Right.
Coven, or the Dark Moon Coven, is probably like somewhere down there in the Unseelie Court.
Boromir? Thoughts?
Well, it depends. If you want to find information, and she's looking to give it. There are 7 of us here, and she did flee when her minions were killed, so if she has something up her sleeve, I'm sure you and the other leftovers could finish her off, so it's up to you if you want to risk it or have something that she wants to risk her safety for.
I don't know what she'd want.
I will leave this up to the Fae.
Roz will call out, "You may not have my name, but you may know what it is. It's Rosalind."
Roz. Hermie is just face palming.
No, Roz nods. No, it's a trick of the words. You don't give them your name. You just let them know it.
She smiles, and you just see these black needles for teeth.
Ew.
Soretic Fairbarn.
So,
That's
do you want my help in getting the information you seek?
Whatever you want to do. I look at Hermia.
I can't
Can you find
help.
her brother?
I can't help with what's on the wall in there. I've spent my own time trying to decipher it, but if you want to see how that battlefield came to be, I can show you the memories of the trees. Maybe it'll help, maybe it won't. Knowledge is power, I think some human once said.
Payla's just sort of looking at everybody like, yeah, come on. We got no other leads.
I mean, I don't know what she wants though.
What do you have?
I got this dagger.
No use for it.
Yourself. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything.
Well, in our party loot.
Anyone have any sweets? My mom says Faye likes sweets.
I mean, this
She
is true.
spits on the ground.
Oh, she don't like it.
All right, how can we possibly trust this person?
I mean,
Sweets
you don't.
rot your teeth. She
You don't
smiles
have-
again.
Oh, how horrible that must be for you.
You got any like shiny things?
Plenty of shiny things.
How about
We've got- Huh?
2 of you give me a lock of your hair?
That
No.
sounds like a bad idea.
You can have Leaf's hair.
Clipping of your nails?
Isn't it bad
Why
to
do you?
give
Ew,
things-
that's gross.
Isn't there magic you can do with
Yes,
essence of
you
a person?
don't want to give that away.
I mean, we have a fist chunk of a crystalline golem. Do you think she'd like that?
Maybe.
I could have collected the crystal. I have no use for Eladrin
Oh, but it's a part of the thing.
magics.
It's from a golem.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
golem.
you mean from when we fought those
Yeah.
3 arcane golems?
Yeah.
Yeah, golem body part. You like body part?
What about a memory?
Oh
No. Hermia's just gonna go up to Roz. Roz, for some reason, I just feel like, killing her, and then if she doesn't tell us what we want, I mean...
Oh god.
I'm still back on. Here's the portal way. If I just jab Radiant Sister up into it real good.
I know, but what if he went that way?
You want to know where the Eladrin went? How many there were who survived? I can show you.
Uh,
But I'm
Does it have to
growing
be a good memory?
impatient. I've changed my mind.
oh god,
I want the hair.
the hair.
Her eyes suddenly go wide. Oh, I see.
See
Oh,
what?
You're connected, aren't you, young one? Her eyes are locked with you, Hermia.
Ew.
You look just like one of them.
Yeah, and he went that way.
I know where he went. I've seen the memories of the trees.
It's your call, Hermia.
I don't want to give her my hair.
Doesn't have to be
Should
yours.
I do something with it?
I'll take it from the short one, and she looks down to Pela. And the old one, and looks up to Leo.
Oh,
Or
Wow.
from the ogre,
Looks
she
back
looks
at-
to Roz.
Yeah.
Roz definitely flips her the bird.
That's kind of rude.
Hey, Zana?
Zana's still like sort of standing back around the corner. looks
When
to
you
you.
change into someone else, does that like change like the base of your DNA?
Oh.
Like, is it your hair or is it really someone else's hair?
It's mine.
Damn it. Okay, never mind then. I don't know. I don't know. This is give me bad vibes, but I also feel like he probably went that way.
Well, if the Pela and Leo wish to give their hair, I would like to not.
Sort of look at Leo. Well,
Wait, well, I mean, let's say he did go that way. We can't go into the Feywild.
We can't?
What if a portal opens out here?
What if a portal opens in there?
portal?
Are they opening in different planes?
They
You
thought
were
we-
told at one point by the Oracle that Exandria serves as sort of a nexus point,
Yeah,
and that places open to Exandria.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm mostly interested in finding out about the wall and perhaps doing something about it.
Well, I think if we bust this up, it'll shut down the wall.
Just like an ogre, to think in terms of nothing but striking things with steel. I can close the portal for you if
I
you
mean,
wish.
She doesn't have an unfounded hypothesis.
Rosalind's in mind. He's like, "Hey, Light, where do you stand on hags?"
There's a quick pause. If you're careful, they can be useful, but they always have ulterior motives, so be careful.
She wants a lock of our hair.
She's not asking for teeth or blood, it could be worse.
Roz makes a face.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
But if we simply destroy it, that doesn't give any insight into what happened. Then I won't have anything to take back.
Oh my god, I hate you so much, Pela.
I mean, does that mean you want to give her your hair?
She takes a few more steps forward. Tell you what, little one. Let's you and I make a deal then. You give me a few pricks of blood from your finger.
Oh, that's even worse.
I'll show the young one what it is she wants. And I'll give you something special. A spell.
Yeah.
I am going to say no deal.
I believe it's.
You're going to show me what I want? I already know what I want.
No, I'm going to show you what happened. Memories of the trees.
A moment, please. And just sort of walks back and starts pacing and just muttering to herself.
Guys, I'm really indecisive. I don't know.
If you're going to make a deal, just make sure you define what it is before you take anything. That is how they get you.
You said a spell? What spell? Of what kind?
A spell that gives you the knowledge of the Fae. The chance to look in and learn all sorts of new, curious things. And she reaches into her cloak
Curious.
and takes out a rolled up scroll that seems to be tied with some sinew of some sort. Knowledge, as you say, is power.
Looks back over at everybody. It is quite an offer.
I don't know. Maybe help.
It's what? Okay.
It's up to Pela at this point.
Yeah, she kind of rubs her temples. Pela will need to decide if she wishes to partake in a deal. And Pela, I only say, perhaps consider your words wisely. For you, Hermia, how important is this to you? And what are you willing to give for it?
How many drops?
3.
One for the memories for her of those who passed through, one for the scroll, one for the knowledge of how this came to be in the first place.
It's a deal for me if it's a deal for you.
Sort of looks over at everybody. Seems reasonable enough.
Are
May
you
I-
sure about this?
Yes.
What is she gonna do with your blood?
That is something you could perhaps make part of the deal.
Any kind of magic she wants.
And just sort of look. That is a fair point. What would you be able to do?
As a fellow practitioner of the arcane, I'm sure you know that the sky, as they say, is the limit. I will say that 1 drop will be used to satisfy my curiosity. I've never tasted halfling before.
Oh, but I'm the ogre.
You think with nothing
No,
but
no,
your
no, no, no,
biceps.
no, no. This is a hag. Pay attention.
You know what? How about we give her an entire gallon of your blood?
Oh, let's not go that
Oh,
far.
that won't be necessary.
She takes
You
a
probably only have about a gallon.
I
few
think you
steps
should
forward.
put a
Okay.
stipulation that she can't use it to harm you.
Deal.
Oh, I felt that was implied, but yes,
No,
we
nothing
shall.
is ever implied.
We shall certainly add that, of course. I wish no harm to befall myself as a result of this.
It's up to you. I feel like anything I say is just gonna be biased.
It's okay. If you're sure, Pela.
Well, can we add that in?
I think she said
Sure.
yeah.
Yes. No harm shall
Very
befall
well.
you from the drops of blood that I take from your fingers.
Sort of narrows her eyes a little bit. Takes out the dagger.
No, no, no.
And
She walks forward a
Oh.
bit more, hobbling up towards the portal. Come now, don't crowd me.
comes up to meet her.
As you all kind of step back a bit,
Yeah.
she walks about halfway through the portal and holds her hand, one of her hands out for yours.
Okay.
Do you give it?
Right hand.
Yep. Hers is clammy and cold. And she takes her other hand with her finger and pricks the tip of your finger with it, and then turns it over and squeezes 3 drops of blood down onto her palm. She steps back through the portal, begins to move her hand over, and you watch as those 3 drops of blood rise up into the air. And she takes out little vials and captures 2 of them. And then with a long, thin, pale green warded tongue, captures the 3rd out of the air.
Neat, but also gross.
I put my hands over Luster's eyes to protect his innocence.
Bit more bitter than I was anticipating.
Yes, well, sometimes life doesn't turn out how we expected.
Oh no, I enjoyed it. The deal is struck. And she has to duck down about half her height to walk back through the portal and into the cavern. Shall we then?
Lead on.
She moves past
All right.
each of you and heads back outside into the light. There is a sweetness to the air in your world that the Feywild has and doesn't have, I suppose. Risha begins to hobble among the trees, reaching her long, twice-jointed arms and crooked fingers out and brushing them across the swords and arrow-wounded bark of the trees. She doesn't need to bend down, as she does the same, tracing decrepit black fingernails along the skulls of the fallen Wildborn. She walks among the battlefield, eyes flickering every which way, taking in details that seem mundane to you. Then she lowers herself down, feet still planted flat until she's sitting near the dirt, her legs bent with knees almost as high as her head. She begins to draw on the dirt. She drops a few bones, moves some stones in position, then pricks her own finger, and you watch as black blood drip, drip, drips, and starts to fizzle and burn. Now we decide whose eyes to watch through. I need something connected to one of them. A bone from someone who didn't survive, or blood from someone who did? Or someone close? She looks to you, Hermia.
I guess that'd be me then.
Keep in mind that whatever we use will show you the extent. So, for example, and she motions to the 2 skeletons near the trees, they didn't make it very far.
So...
I
You need something of me?
I assume it is a relative you're working for, that you're looking for? I won't
Perhaps.
keep whatever you use, just spill a few drops here. And she motions to the ritual she set up in front of her.
Your blood would be connected to him.
Okay, I'll do that. But I'm doing my own... I'm making my own blood.
That's fine.
You're not gonna help me.
At your leisure, then.
Do you have the sharp daggers?
No, I don't.
I give you an arrow.
Okay, I use the arrow.
Okay, so you prick your finger and you drop a few droplets of blood down into the ritual site. And as she begins to cast and the spell comes to fruition, a different time is laid over the forest landscape that you can see, a kind of half-image, a recreation, a memory. The trees sway transparently among the real ones with you now, their leaves a bit more green and young. You see a figure rush through them, hunched and huddled, but still as tall as a human, maybe a bit shorter than Roz. They're covered in thick, ragged black layers. They reach out with cracked skin and clawed fingers, touching the trees as they make for the cave, and behind them, several Eladrin, blades and bows drawn, duck and weave through the forest. They sound distant, like a whisper. Do not lose sight of her! Essiton! Hanahan! A commanding voice calls out, and as those 2 Eladrin pass between trees, now with barely imperceptible glowing scratches, they explode. Corlon, damn you witch, the commander shouts. Reziel, Karistan, Yaria, take height. Astoria and Farai on me. Callisa, check them, he barks orders and points towards the unmoving wounded and continues forward. The action moves and shifts. Spells are tossed from the cave entrance. Arrows and magic sent back in response. The captain and two Eladrin, one of them, with snow-white skin and dark hair the color of ice during the night, move in. They give each other cover with fire and sleet, using trees and magic to shield themselves. Give it up, witch. Venenthia will have you. There's a cackle that causes them all to shiver and some shirk in fear. But the captain and the snow-white Eladrin get close. You're too stupid, too slow, and... She pauses. Hermie and one other person make a perception check for me.
Well, $19 for me.
Hold on. Perception. 25.
You notice a brief hesitation when her eyes lock onto Leander. And you're too late. She runs her hands across the top of the cave mouth, recites something, then aims a finger at the pink crystals, in this vision much more plentiful. There's an eruption of light, and the vision ends.
Was the person in, like, the evil lady, this evil lady?
Did not look to be. She sounded different and seemed to have wearing different cloaks.
And they said a name, Cor or something?
There were a few names. A lot of them you recognized as names of people that your brother trained with. Coralon is the name of one of the gods who's said to be the creator of Fae and magic.
Gotcha. So it just ended with like the bright.
An eruption of light.
The explosion, yeah.
And then you said Leander was hesitating?
No, the
Sorry.
figure that they were chasing hesitated before they cast the spell when they saw Leander.
Okay.
So, the spell that they cast, did they aim it at the crystals?
Yes.
So they activated them,
Mhm.
probably.
It was deliberate.
Yeah, that's why they're empty now. And the warding one shielded the witch.
Well, with my work done, I'll head back home and close the portal if you'd like me to.
And the scroll as well, as agreed.
Of course. She reaches out and hands you the scroll.
There was also how that came to be. Is that as a result of that spell?
You gather
Sort of
as
both
much.
in and out. Yeah.
Yes, because prior to it, the crater and the glass-like effect was not there.
Okay.
You take the
So-
spell from her?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm paid for that.
She begins to hobble back towards the cave entrance.
So those crystals, can they only be used to teleport, like, to the Feywild?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking myself, but yeah, asking
Okay.
you too.
So, traditionally, Broomstone is enchanted in a way that allows it to fly. That was the original intention when Venenthia created itself. They wanted to separate themselves from the rest of the Feywild because they felt they were above it. The teleportation was an unseen consequence that ended up being fine because now they could go to and trade with the Primaterial plane as well. And it's not something that traditional Broomstone can do.
Okay. So there's really not any way of knowing, like, where they could have teleported to.
If they teleported, remember, there's still more stuff in the cave that you have yet to go through.
Okay. let's explore the cave some more.
So as you head back into this domicile, Risha heads back over. Would you like me to close the portal, or one of you going to do it? Perhaps the
Leave it-
ogre would like to try and smash it with her sword.
Leave it open for now.
Well, if you ever feel like coming home.
Roz just makes a face at her.
And she walks through it.
Well, Hermia?
I guess we explore the cave some more, see if there's any other clues.
Right.
So,
Yes, I'll hold here a moment.
as you begin to look around, there's a few more things that you notice. There's another body in here. Picked clean, unrecognizable. However, you do notice that this one does still wear pieces of what you, Hermia, recognize as Wildborn armor. A dark green hued sort of silver or mithril with golden trim and accents on it. You also notice on the table, as you begin to go through it, sorry, one moment, there is a ring. On it, you see a golden bird of some sort emblazoned on a red sky. The hawk has silver eyes, a color in the Fae that is often used to symbolize powerful female figures.
So it's a ring?
It's a ring. It's like a signet ring.
Okay, got it.
Like mine.
It looks, Hermia, similar to the Astoria signet, but it's not quite a hawk.
So it's not mine?
It's
not ours?
It's not exactly yours. The Astoria signet has a hawk on it specifically, which can be denoted by the sharpness of the wings and the talons and the beak. This one, the wings and the beak are more soft. It's denoting more of just a general concept of a bird as opposed to a hawk specifically.
So it's not an Astoria ring.
Looks awfully close, though.
But it's
Strange.
not.
Infer what you will.
Am I able to tell by looking at it or what house it might be from?
It looks like yours. There's differences,
Okay.
but that's the
Yeah.
only other thing that it reminds you of.
But is there other houses that are like mine that
Nope.
have like a similar crest?
There's no other houses you know of that use a bird in your colors.
Does it look like it's been like tampered with at all?
It looks old.
Oh,
Antique almost.
Pela,
Yes, she's been looking through the scroll.
do you know detect magic or identify?
I do not. I did not get that far.
Damn it. Alright.
To be fair, I think Leo has what's his face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Does
I have-
that thing still work?
Are you sure you didn't want to use Arcana earlier with it? Because remember, you can only use it once a day, but it does have Identify if you want to look at this.
Oh yeah, I forgot it does have identify on that.
Yep,
So yeah,
yep.
I can
You
do that.
Use it to basically make a Super Arcana check or identify something.
Yeah, I'll identify it for her.
So, taking a look at it through the eyes of whatever that statue's name was.
Elroy.
Elroy.
Something.
Yep. It's not a magical item. It doesn't have any magical properties. However, I will say that there is a latent, unclassified, so it's not like a class of magic, but there's just a latent magic aura to it that as you describe it to Hermia and Pela, you would deduce that however old it has been in the possession of someone who is very powerful in the magical arts, and some of it has basically just kind of infused it with just a small property. Not enough to do anything, but just enough to kind of have a latent arcane signature to it.
So it's not like cursed or anything?
Residual.
Residual, thank
Okay.
you, yes. It's just absorbed enough to have a residual lingering effect.
I'm gonna take it.
Okay, just call it Antique Astoria Signet Ring.
And it's not, you said. It
I
either is or
said-
it isn't.
I said there are aspects of it that are different. You can interpret that as you will.
Okay.
Okay. You also notice, as you are looking over some of the details again, part of the wall has these scrawlings all over it. Amongst them, and I will say, Hermia, you recognize this. Zana does as well. There's a symbol consisting of two sort of squiggly lines spinning around one another, like a funnel or like a DNA symbol type deal that you would normally see. And it's inside two large ovals with two smaller circles outside of it. You and Zana recognize this as the symbol of the Unseelie Court.
Oh. So the Unseelie Court is involved somehow. But I'm not... It's weird that they take such direct action against them.
So, please pardon my total ignorance. You're Unseelie, is that, do you fight against them?
No, we are neutral as best we can. They acknowledge our city's existence, but don't deem us necessary for them to pay attention to, or at least the majority do. Obviously, that's not true now. If the Wildborn were chasing someone from them, but I don't know what could have, caused them to chase after someone. They must have threatened somebody.
Yep. Now remember, the Wildborn are an elite unit. They're essentially Venethia's CIA, and they combat threats both in the Feywild to Venethia as well as threats outside of the Feywild to Venethia.
Yeah. So they're investigating something.
Do you want to keep this court symbol?
Oh, it's on the wall, but you could copy it down into your journal.
Yeah. Sure. We can copy it. So that's all that's in here?
There is a lot more of the pink broomstone crystals as well, and taking a look at the scrawlings on the wall, I would say Hermia and Pela, with your proficiency in Arcana, this seems to be the theoretical and mathematical musings of a spell.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, start copying it down.
I would like the two of you to make a Arcana check.
Okay. Holy shit.
19.
I rolled a 19 on the dice again, plus 5, so 24.
A lot of it to you, Pela, even with your knowledge, seems gibberish and comprehensible. Like, even as you attempt to try to start jotting some of this down, you're afraid that, like, are you doing it in the right order? Is the way that you're putting it down to decipher later even going to have... Is it going to make it harder to figure it out based on what's here? And Hermia, there are pieces that you understand, things that are familiar, but you're still sort of missing something. And as Pela begins to ask questions, you are one off, Hermia, but I'm going to say that with Pela getting so high, the questions that she asks suddenly make it all click for you. This seems to be a rough idea for a spell that would cause the crystals under Vithenia to lose their power. And as you look it over, it's difficult to get a grasp on deciphering it, because it's a spell unlike anything you've seen before. There are elements of it that you find familiar, storing power, ways to move it around, etheric fluctuations that, quite frankly, don't make any sense and seem downright dangerous. The energy quotients consistent with the Broomstone in Astoria, that's about as far as you can get. You're not sure exactly what it is. It's not complete. And where it is now, if it was used in its current form, then it would be dangerous. It could cause the crystals to overload, explode.
Oh no. This isn't good. Roz?
Huh?
I think my home's in trouble.
Something's threatening the Feywild? That's pretty
No.
tough to do.
My home. The city.
Point out that you believe the point of this spell is to use the wild magic of the Broomstone to sort of ping-pong the energy back and forth until it builds up enough to expel itself, which would render them inert and simply cause the city to descend back down to the ground. But the problem that you see in the annotations recorded here also confirm it, meaning that whoever was developing this is also aware that if the spell was used as it was now, it would be catastrophic. But you don't think that that's the person's intent.
They just want to drop it.
Mm-hmm. They want to depower the Broomstone, not destroy it.
Well, if you drop a city, it's still going to cause untold havoc.
I mean, it depends on how quickly it drops. If they slowly lose their power, it could just float to the ground. If everything goes as it is
Intended. So whoever wrote this stuff on the board, does it seem like they are well versed? I mean, like, just because it's like,
Yes,
a bunch
to
of like
come up with something like this, and just the
Yeah, it's
formulas
advanced stuff.
and the information that they seem to have about Vithenia Broomstone, yes, whoever did this is extremely intelligent.
Who would do something?
I don't know. I mean, I could see one of the courts just wanting to bring the city to its rightful place, which is the ground. Because the Eladrin think they're so high and mighty and whatever, and what if we just cause their city to drop and crumble? I can't think of any good reason why they would want to do it. Can you?
I don't know.
I'm still getting past your city flies. Sorry.
There's a flying city in Vino.
That's true.
I mean, that's a it's a pretty standard practice for anything of this to ask who benefits from it, as, is copying down the formula and stuff.
Right. Who would benefit from this? I don't know enough about Eldrin politics.
Well, it wouldn't benefit the people in the city.
No.
Do you think this is what your brother was trying to stop?
Perhaps.
This is right
Makes
up the
sense.
Wildborn's alley.
If so, then if we saw the person who did that, right?
I
And
mean,
this is where
yeah.
the bright light happened?
I mean, someone should warn them. I don't know, like if any of the Wildborn made it back
So
to
if
report.
I would say that if true, no, never mind. You're right. Correct. Continue. Sorry.
Like
So-
they might have survived, but I don't know if they would have made it back to the city or not.
So you want to go to your home city?
I mean, I don't particularly want to, but I also don't want to see it like crumpled down on the ground either. It's what Leander would do.
I mean, do you know a way back out from the Feywild?
Well, there's always ways to get back. Would I be able to go back the way I came from?
The way that you came to the Prime Material Plane was when you picked up Foamir for the first time. You woke up in the Prime Material Plane, outside of Exandria.
That's my worry is, do we know how to return here?
I know there's ways to get. Do people like in the actual city like know how to get to the Prime Material Plane or not? Like-
Yes, those who need to go there for reasons use spells to do so.
So there's ways to get back. Worst case scenario is that they only let you guys go back, and I am forced to stay home.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Well, maybe we can convince them that, it's better if I go with you guys. But there's definitely ways to get back.
This is far from Rexentrum if we go through the Feywild.
I don't want to make you guys go, though.
Probably have them boot us out at, like, I don't know, the Menagerie Coast.
If you just need to get word to home to let them know what the danger is, we have a sending stone.
But there's a chance it doesn't work on planes.
It's small.
All right. The only question is who would take it seriously?
Yeah, that would be a question regardless of whether we were in person or not. Who would you tell this to?
My brother, and he'd tell the Wildborn, who would tell it to probably the higher court.
Oh, we have the copy of the spell. We could take it to. You must have scientists in your city, right?
Oh, loads.
My only concern is we step through and we're stuck out there for a while and a portal opens here.
Indeed.
Either
And-
way, we're going to have to get rid of this portal so Fey things don't come out and kill other people unsuspectedly. So
Correct.
Correct. Well, I guess, Hermia, how do you exactly want to convey this information? I understand you'd want to tell Leander. We don't even know if Leander is,
Right.
truth be
That's what I'm
told, even
not
there.
saying. I don't know if they would just trust like a sending message, or if it would even go through. I mean, I know logically, the spell there's a small chance of failure, but I mean, there's there's you know, protections around the city. I don't know if like a sending spell would go through.
A sending spell would go through. It's common practice to use it there as well. You just have the 5% chance of failure from it going to a different plane.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it's not divination, is it?
Correct.
It's not divination, correct. So
I don't know if they trust just a voice telling them.
well, if you say who you are and that you're Leander's sister, I don't know if they're gonna trust us walking through either. They might kill us.
And why won't you just contact your mother or father? If their city's in danger, they might.
Well, because
Put
they
that
probably
aside.
won't believe me. They think I'm probably just being dramatic.
Who's someone else from your brother's group that you know?
Well, pretty much all the ones that I know are you know, they were with him, so I don't know if they'd be there.
You know that at least 3 of them are dead from here. When you got Foamir, there were bodies there as well, but they were unrecognizable.
Is there a leader?
Hold on, I am trying to pull up my notes that I did not yet add to.
Yeah. Obviously, we can create all sorts of NPCs. You knew people from the academy as well. You knew people who recruited Leander.
Met the king of the Fey City. I don't know what they have there. Do they have like a ring of 3 or?
They have the lesser and higher courts.
While you may not have met a lot of people from the different courts, you've probably at least seen everyone at gatherings, parties, things like that. So you could, theoretically, having just seen someone, be able to send a sending spell to them.
See, I don't know, because you said it's very easy to miss something here, so I don't know, like, if I should just jump through it, because I don't want to miss anything.
You have gotten everything so far.
Okay.
The main thing that I added today that was missable, depending on if you trusted it or not, was the vision from the hag.
Oh, okay.
You're
I don't-
welcome.
That's why you're here, Pela. Please.
Volmir, do you think we should go in?
If you're looking to get a message to your city, then it may be smarter to find a more direct route to your city. The Feywild is dangerous, you know this, and especially so close to the Black Canopy. It would be a few days of travel.
That's true. But would we even be able to find like a closer portal to the city? Unless it decides to bamf on the Menagerie coast by the time we get over there.
No, you would look for someone who can use plane shift and take you there. Appear in the city itself.
I don't think that would work, though, would it? Because if anybody could just go in there if they knew the spell, that's not a very like secure city.
No, you would need you would need a tuning fork for it,
right?
and you would need
But that
someone
was just
someone who's probably been there before, which wouldn't be impossible to track down because there are people, powerful people. You just need to find them. You have access to a few powerful and influential magic users, both politically and, literally, that you could talk to.
You have the one lady that Roz talked to.
I don't know. Okay, I am not good at making decisions.
Because here's the other thing. If you go through this portal, it's not like you just have to walk to where you know the city is. It flies around.
Yeah,
okay. Well, I think we should just destroy this portal then.
Very well.
Oh, finally, words I understand.
Well, we've documented all we can. Halo, would you be able to make a copy of what you written here for Hermia?
Of this notation?
Yes.
I mean, I'll need more time, but yes, obviously I can do that.
Well, you don't have to do it now, but you have the first copy, and, well, I'm sure she will want a copy for herself.
Yes. Are you all pressing on?
Yeah, we're gonna destroy the portal here.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so-
you can spend, like, after you destroy the portal, another 30 minutes here if you need to, waiting for Pela to make some copies in her own notes. You're obviously not going to want to leave her here with who knows how
No.
many fey creatures running around outside.
No, we're not going to leave her here.
No, she's fine. She's a big girl.
We can wait a little bit.
So, Rosalind, would you like to smash this portal?
Oh, so much.
All right, make an attack
not
roll
gonna have
for
the-
me.
Are we not going to have the hag do it?
Hag is left.
Fair enough.
I will also say that as you come back around
yeah.
and look out, you now notice the trees with the fruit on it are covered in twisted with these long, dark green tendrils that seem to be coming out of the pond.
Nope, not today, Satan. Rob swings his sword. 22 to hit.
All right, you clang your sword against the wood and sort of the growth that's serving as the outer shell
Divine Smite.
of this this portal. You know that feeling when you're like swinging a bat or something and like it just hits the wrong way and all the vibrations go into your arm?
Yeah.
That's what happens. But there is like a notch that you seem to have cut in one of the branches.
Can I Divine Smite it?
Wait. I think we might need to dispel the magic first before we smash the frame.
I can do that.
Can you?
Yes.
You gonna cast the
Yes.
spell? At what
Yeah.
level are you gonna cast it?
Good question. Yeah, we'll get that up to 4th.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d20 and add your spellcasting modifier to it.
The modifier or the attack?
Sorry, yes, your full plus attack to it.
Okay, I'm gonna use that inspo Juxta gave me because I don't think a 5 plus my stuff will get me enough.
Not likely. Good call.
How about a 15 total?
Okay. So as you cast Dispel on the frame of this portal, you watch as the wood darkens slowly to more of an ashen gray, and then just sort of falls off the ground, off the wall, and hits the ground in front of it. The portal still remains, but it no longer seems to have a frame to it.
A frame or?
Yes, the sort of wooden branches were framing it like a door frame.
Okay.
Those
but
have
the
fallen
portal
away.
Is still there?
The portal's still there, but it no
So
longer
it's now
has the frame.
it's just like a hole in the world.
Yes. Now it does, Leo, to your question earlier, besides the color patterns, remind you a bit more of the portals you've closed before.
Could we try to close it like we do for our portals?
Sure. As you step towards it, Hermia, and put your hands up to either side and focus on it, you feel your tattoo begin to warm and flare. It's a lot easier than when you're closing the other rifts, but it does close.
Ha!
And
We
as
did it!
And as it does, Roz, you hear a voice in your head. No, it was a good try, but maybe let those with the brains do the heavy lifting.
Fuck you, bitch.
And that's where we will
You
go
alright?
ahead and end tonight's session.
Whew.
Yeah, Raj, you sound like Hermia.